Please read this disclaimer carefully before proceeding further. Welcome traders to this week's of Forex Analysis. My name is Vic. Thanks for joining me in this analysis. Now let's see what kind of opportunities we have on Forex pairs. Remember, we play both sides. As traders, it's our responsibility not to be biased about the market and trade what we see. So this is my quick tip for you. Next week, when you're going to plan a trade, when you have an opportunity, always look at both sides. When we cross the road, we always pay attention to both sides, because there could be a vehicle coming from right hand side or there could be a vehicle coming from left hand side. So always pay attention to both sides, bullish and bearish. That is how it is safer for us to trade. Okay, so let's start with DXY first. I have already posted a full detailed analysis of DXY top-down analysis. If you haven't checked it out, go and check it out. It has tons of educational material in there. I'm sure you will enjoy it and you will find something useful in there. And if you find something useful in there, make sure that you like that, put a comment and share that with other traders and trading communities. So I'm not going to revise the entire thing here because this is more about Euro USD and other currency pairs. So let's look at DXY very briefly. What we have here is that we identified these three FCP zones actually, and this FCP zone was identified in the month of August. Actually, we started talking about this in July 2020, and we knew that market was probably going to come to this level and start to move up. And the reason behind that was multiple factors, but there was a water cluster moving average. I'm not sure whether you can see this. It's right there in the blue color, and we knew that market was going to touch it and then it was going to go up. So this is a very powerful setup that we had, and we found this in the month of July. We watched it in the month of August, and then we started our positions as soon as the September arrived. So if I go to the daily time frame, we got a proper setup here in terms of divergence, and that's why we can also call this as on a divergence based double bottom. And then we started to move up. Market took a little bit of breather here, and we can see that there is a head and shoulders forming. That means the market can still push back up because the neckline has been broken. Neckline was at 93.60. okay, so what we can plan further is that market may actually take a little bit of breather because we are in FCP zone, which is kind of like on a reversal zone. So, and we also have this W pattern forming. So next week, because as I mentioned in the other video as well, we have month end. So there can be a couple of days in the market where where DXY may actually fall down before it reaches October. And in the month of October, we may have to revise this, but in the month of October, I'm expecting it to actually pick up a little bit again before falling it down. So we'll see that later on, but let's just focus on the weekly for now. Next week, there are chances that it may actually come back down into this zone or these levels, which are important. And you can check out the full DXY analysis for further details. Other option is that market may actually start to move up. So how do we read these arrows? These arrows, some of these arrows are sequential, some of them are not. The way I present these arrows are like this. If the market starts to fall down, remember the word is if. The condition, this is a conditional statement. So if the market starts to go down, then it is expected to come to 94. If it finds bullish momentum, then it is expected to go back to that level into this zone. If it doesn't find that bullish momentum, then it can fall down to 93.60. And if it actually keeps on falling, then it can come down to 92.89. And if it keeps on falling, then it can come down all the way back into this zone. So that's the bearish scenario. On the bullish side, market may actually keep on moving upwards from here directly into 95.51. That's one scenario. Second scenario is may fall down to 94.03 and then pick up bullish momentum, then go here. If it forms a double top, then it can fall back down again. Otherwise, it can go above, give us a retest, and then we can go for a long position. So this is the trading plan that we have, right? We are covering all the aspects. As I said, you should be looking left and right when you cross the road. So that's what makes you a profitable trader. Okay, so if the DXY is supposed to fall down, because we are right into FCP zone, that means the Euro USD, AUD USD, NZD USD, and GBP USD are supposed to go up along with gold and silver probably, but USD CAD and USD JPY and USD CHF are supposed to go down because they are on the opposite side of the equation. So let's start looking at Euro USD first. On Euro USD, we were able to look like, we were able to find these levels, and I mentioned in my midweek updates that we had this head and shoulders forming. If you have been following me on TradingView, if you're not, then you're missing out there. If you're following me on TradingView, then you might have seen it actually. I mentioned that this level was critical, and as you can see, this is forming head and shoulders, pretty much like the inversion of head and shoulders here. So Euro USD is expected to go down even further, somewhere around this level where the water cluster moving average is. So somewhere around 1.14 or maybe 1.15, that round number you can pick. That's quite possible. So 1.15. Now, because this level has been broken, we expect market to move upwards to actually retest this neckline, and that can only happen if DXY starts to fall down. So if DXY starts to fall down, then Euro USD may start to go back up, and if that happens, then we can have a very good long opportunity from here if you're day trading. But if you're swing trading like me, then I will wait for market to come here and then give me a short position for it to go down as a trend continuation trade. Okay, so what we can do is we can just remove everything and reset the analysis. Remember, we have month end coming next week, so we may have to revise this. So keep following me on TradingView and on YouTube to keep on getting updates. You can also join the free Telegram channel. The address is Vikinsa FX. You can go there and join. You will get most of the latest updates there as well. Now, before we actually look into this, let's go to our MT4 where we have water trend algo. We can already see that market has started giving, the water trend also has started giving an early indication that this is going to go down. Now that's on weekly. We have clear indication that this is supposed to go down and approximately this level of 1313, but this is just for guidance, and because this is a weekly one, market may actually go back up before it starts to go down. So there can be ups and downs. It may not be just straightforward down, right? If I go to the daily time frame on Euro USD using water, I can see that the market already gave me an indication that it was going to go down. And why this is better than the green one is because we have the red color here. So this is the level, according to the daily time frame, this is the level that we are looking at, which is 1.155. So these are just for guidance, but it actually tells you where to put the stop loss and where to put your where to take your profit targets. Okay, so if we have that sort of prediction coming from water trend algo, we can also look for short opportunities because we have better confirmation for short. Now what we can do here is we can see that market has created this W structure here, and that basically means that market is expected to go down. What we can do, however, is we can go and draw Fibonacci on this leg, and we can see that market is probably coming towards 50% leg right there. So that's an important level for us. Now another level to look for is actually this 38.2, and then we also have Fibonacci on this leg, and you see that there is 38.2 confluencing very nicely with moving average here, mid of the Bollinger Band. Give me just 1 second, I'll pause the video and make sure that this actually shows up. Okay, now this is looking much better. So we have 38.2 lining up very nicely with this and another moving average right there. So this becomes our very good confluence zone. So this is where the market could be heading to. And remember, we already saw that 150, we already found that level, right, from the previous analysis. So everything lines up for this, but because we are already going past 23.6, and there is another level here, 159. So market may actually start to go back up, but looking at just this candle, we can see that this wants to actually go down, because this candle looks like a good trend continuation candle. So what we can expect is for another day or two, maybe 2 or 3 days next week, it can start to move higher, and if we get a confirmation, we can go for a short opportunity. Okay, so what I can do is I'll just remove this Fibonacci and leave those levels in there and go to the daily time frame. On daily time frame, we can see that market is creating an M pattern. That means it is also expected to go upwards. So it's quite possible that market may want to touch this before it starts to move higher. Okay, and then there is another option that market starts to move higher right where it is right now. Okay, so that's quite possible. If I go back to the daily time frame, that's how it is looking. Okay, so this level is going to be very important. And if I go to the daily time frame, now what we can do is we can draw Fibonacci on it and see where the market could be coming into. So that's 38.2 right there, and that's 50% right there. So the market could be coming into these levels right there. Also, we can do a little bit of fine tuning. Okay, so this becomes our zone where the market could be coming into. So that's our first zone, and the second zone could be somewhere around here. Remember, we may have to revise this because there is a month end coming as well. So trading plan for Euro USD is that market may could be coming here and moving upwards, or it may just go upwards. If it actually comes there and if I get a good confirmation, then I'll go for a short. Okay, if the market breaks through this level and if I get a confirmation, then this is the level that I'm looking at for my short position, and then we may have to revise and look at it again, because by that time there'll be a new structure formed. So this is my analysis on Euro USD. Hope you found this useful, educational and informational. If you did, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe on TradingView, on Telegram, and on here YouTube, and also share this video with other traders and trading communities. Help them find a better things to look at, better analysis to look at. This is much in depth and much educational than other analysis that you might encounter on YouTube. Okay, let's look at GBP USD. Now GBP USD and Euro USD usually look similar, so pay attention to this. Now we already saw very good movement on this. I actually created a video last week and we actually secured near about 400 pips on GBP USD trade, and I said the market could be heading down from this zone again back into 1.27, and this level was found weeks ago, and that is how we do it. Using FCP strategy and FCP analysis, we are able to identify these important levels weeks and sometimes months in advance. And that's the beauty of it, because if you are using this strategy, then you're not actually jumping into the trade. You're psychologically very stable. You do not have emotions to play with, and what you have is a pre-planned trade. You already have a plan in place before the trade comes to you. So using this, you can day trade, or you can do scalping, or you can go for a swing trading or position trading as well. Myself, personally, I am more of a swing trader, short-term swing trader. Sometimes I do position trading as well, but this works on everything. And the biggest thing is whatever strategy, whatever plan that you have, you must pre-plan your trades, because that is going to help you. This is, if you pre-plan your trades and if you have structure around your strategy, that is going to make you a better trader, because you will not have any psychological ups and downs. You will know exactly when the market will come there. You will have if-else statements. You will say, okay, if the market comes here, then I will take a trade. If it doesn't, I won't, because I won't have an opportunity. This is following my plan. So we were able to identify this zone, and since then the market fell. It actually fell to this level, intermediate level. Then I said market would go up, and this actually happened here, and then market was supposed to go down to 1.27. That's exactly where we are. So now these levels are still very, very important, because the market may start to go back up, and if it starts to go back up, then these levels are going to be very important as our profit targets or support and resistance, so as to say. These are FCP levels and these are FCP zones that we have. Okay, so how do we read this? market is already like testing these moving average, and it's right now on 200 moving average. So if the market actually presents us with a good opportunity to go long, we'll take that, and this will be my first profit target. I'll be a little careful in this case because there is a lot of cluster here, right? So it may not actually go beyond this 1.27967. that is possible, but if it actually goes beyond, then I will go and take my profit around 2900, and if this zone is broken, then only I will start to move upwards, where we have the mid of the Bollinger Band. You can see that the market is creating this stepper kind of pattern, so that means in extreme bullish cases it can actually start to fall, it can start to actually move upwards, and it may go down all the way back into that zone that we already had. So that is also still a possibility, right? So let me actually put a line there. So these are all the levels that we have for bullish scenario. On bearish scenario, if the market starts to move down, then obviously we will be looking to go from levels to levels. Okay, now let's look at other things. If I just remove some of these things so that you can see. Right, so we are clear about these levels. Now what we can see, that market has created an W pattern. So I'm not sure whether you can see. If I go to the weekly, then it makes more sense now. Here, market has created the W pattern, which is FCP pattern here, and that means that market was expected to go down, and that is why we actually took this trade. Now it is struggling with mid of the Bollinger Band, and that is why it is expected to go higher, and that is why we are looking for DXY to fall as well. So everything lines up. Okay, if the market starts to fall down, then where it can go to, right? So let's draw Fibonacci on it, right? Because the market has gone upwards, let's draw Fibonacci on it, and now it has come right into 38.2, and that is why we were looking for this profit target. We were able to plan this when we were here using our FCP analysis. So market was able to come here, and if that gets broken, then the next level we are going to look at is going to be this one. So let me put that in here, and another one is going to be somewhere around here. But at the moment, the way it is looking, GBP USD is looking bullish, and because if the DXY starts to play up and down, then GBP USD at the most may go into consolidation. So but it is not looking that bearish as of now, right? We may have to look for indications around this level, because this is where it is right now. That level is very, very critical, so we'll have to see. But this is the bearish case on GBP USD. Okay, hope you found this useful, and if you did, hit the like button, and in the comment section let me know your thoughts on GBP USD. Okay, let's move on to the next one, which is AUD USD. Okay, AUD USD is also doing exactly the same thing which we were expecting. We knew that market was going to go down and to this level, because this is, let me just clean this up. This has created another W pattern. It looks like a V, but if you look closely, this is actually a W pattern, and that is why market was expected to fall down, and we were able to manage our plan our trades from here, because the W pattern completed right there at our Fibonacci levels. If you want to learn more about these Fibonacci levels and Fibonacci strategy, FCP strategy, then you can find more information about the training in the description. A new brochure of FCP strategy is out. You can find this on Vikinsa.com. And this is very extensive training that we have, and we cover all the aspects of what you're analyzing with. Okay, so the market was expected to go down, so if I draw Fibonacci on it, it is expected to come here and fall to these levels. So let's do one thing, let's clean it up so that we can see better. Right now, as we can see, that it is actually struggling with water cluster moving average right there, and also the mid of the Bollinger Band. That means we are expecting an upward move. Okay, and that is also in accordance with DXY, Euro USD, GBP USD. So everything is lining up automatically. Okay, let's go to the daily time frame. On daily time frame, what we can see that it has come very close to water cluster moving average. So let's put that as our an interesting level. And we can also see that market is creating an M pattern. There is an extended M pattern and there is another one here. So let's start measuring them, right? So we'll draw. This is 61.8. That's why there was a little bit of reaction here. But remember, if you have seen the DXY analysis, sometimes these reactions may actually be delayed. So you can expect something like this, similar to what we have on EURUSD. So if it comes here, then we can actually look for a little bit of long position here going upwards. And we can also measure this M pattern, and this is lining up very nicely with exactly that level of 161.8. so this looks like a very good FCP zone for us, because we have multiple things lining up. So if the market actually comes here, then we can look for a long position, and if the market actually does that, then we can go for something like this level first of all as our profit target level, and then another one, and then near about this level. Okay, so let me just clean it up. So this is what we have in terms of our plan. If we get a long position here, if we get a confirmation based on our entry methods, we use 5 entry methods in our FCP strategy. If we get at least 1 or 2, then we can go for a long position, go back into this, and we can keep on moving between these between these levels. These levels can act as support and resistance both. If the market actually breaks through that, if breaks through this FCP zone, the next level is going to be somewhere around here. We have 200 moving average, and what we can also see is that if I draw fib on this entire structure, it should line up with something. Yes, if you do it properly, then everything lines up automatically. So this becomes our FCP zone. Again, there are a few other factors. It's not that we are not just looking for one thing, but to simplify, just to make you understand for the purpose of this video, this is our FCP zone where the market can come to if this one is broken. So the idea is that if the market breaks through this zone, then we'll be looking for short positions, but for that we'll have to go through some of those levels, and we may have to revisit this analysis because by that time a new structure would have been formed. So this is what we have. On GBP USD, on AUD USD, sorry, we'll be looking for a long position here if it comes there, but having said that, it is quite possible that market may actually start to move up from where it is right now. So you have to be careful with that, and if these levels start to act as resistance, then I'll be looking for short positions back into lower levels. So that's what I have on AUD USD. Hope you enjoyed this, hope you found this useful. Let's look at it before we actually move on. Let's look at GBP USD. Sorry, I missed that. On GBP USD, we can see that market is already telling us that it wants to go down, and this is that level where it wants to come down to. So that actually is kind of in accordance with what we analyzed on GBP USD. And if you want to look at AUD USD, right there, AUD USD also has started falling down. We have an indication on weekly saying that market is going to expect if you go for a short positions in the market is going to respect them more. If you go to the daily time frame, you can see the market has already been falling, and if you had taken this trade, it would have hit its profit target already. So if the market goes back up, and if we get another arrow like an angular change here, then we can go for a short trade on AUD USD. Okay, let's look at USD CAD. On USD CAD, the market wants to come to the water cluster moving average, which we planned. All of these levels were planned in advance, and I'm going to actually release a complete study video on USD CAD because I've been following this pair for months now, and there have been a lot of opportunities. I've not been actually telling much about USD CAD, but behind the scenes I've been trading USD CAD a lot because this was so predictable. I'm going to release another video on it. I'm just working on on my schedule, and then I will come up with it. This is going to be a completely educational video, so do not miss that. Make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want to find out more about that. So on USD CAD, as I mentioned in my trading view and my Telegram group and other places, that market has created a W pattern, and we were expecting little bearish day here, another bearish day, because all of these levels were very important. These levels are still very important. Market may go upwards into 34,316 and a little bit higher, actually somewhere around 345 level as well, and because we have this water cluster moving average, and after that it may fall. However, that's not guaranteed. Remember, USD CAD at the moment is running DXY, so if DXY wants to fall down, that means the USD CAD may start to fall down right where it is, but there are more chances of it actually going upwards into 3134316 before it starts to fall down. So I'm not going to actually revise this analysis because all of these levels are still very important. Only thing is that if you start to take a short trade from here, then in terms of profit target, yes, all of these levels are still very important. So nothing much has changed on USD CAD. All these levels are still valid. So we are going to play them as support and resistance later on. Okay, let's look at USD CAD here on water trend algo. Okay, on USD CAD weekly, it is already telling us that it wants to go up. As I mentioned, it is still a bullish case, but remember, this is a weekly time frame, so there can be consolidation or anything like that, or they can be down up down move before it actually starts to go upwards. It may also be creating a W kind of pattern, so you can expect a little downward move before it starts to go up. It may or may not go straight upwards. Here this candle looks like a trend continuation candle, so next week I'm expecting a bullish candle, but again, pretty much like DXY, there can be a couple of days where it goes down and then starts to pick up, so watch out for that. That is possible. And on daily time frame, let's see what it is telling. Okay, on daily time frame, it has already been moving upwards. This is one trade that I was able to take personally based on the confirmation, and the reason behind that was because I was monitoring this particular area. And if I just give you a little bit background on why I was watching that particular area, is because market created this M pattern, and which completed right there. There are actually two M patterns. One is right here, completed here, and another one is here. So there was an FCP pattern which actually completed here, and you see that market also created huge engulfing candle. This is the one that I mentioned in my previous analysis. So it can keep on going upwards, and it can reach this level of 34700. That's also a possibility, and we already have that on our list right there. Okay, so that's my analysis on USD CAD. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you found this useful. If you did, hit the like button. You know what to do. Okay, let's move on to which one is the next one. We have covered Euro USD, GBP USD, AUD USD, and USD CAD. Between USD JPY and USD CHF, I'll pick USD JPY. Okay, on USD JPY, these are all the levels that we were looking at, and now the market actually kind of fooled us on USD JPY. We were expecting a move from here, from this zone, but that did not happen. It actually fell down, so we came up with another one. It never reached there, so we were fooled by the markets, and that happens. No worries about that. What you can do is, if you have come up with an FCP zone, and if the market has broken through it, then wait for a retest kind of thing, and then you can go for a long. Okay, I did not trade this, but that's I would have done. Okay, so let's remove all of this, and let's go to the monthly time frame and see what's happening. Okay, this is the main reason why I do not trade JPY pairs is because of huge spiky actions, right? Now technical analysis works perfectly fine on USD JPY, but in terms of trade management it becomes little difficult because there are so many round numbers, there are frequent round numbers which create these spikes. Now they also present us with very good opportunity, because if a round number is coming up, then you can expect a huge move. So that's why I understand a lot of traders actually want to trade USD JPY, because it actually is, all JPY pairs are very volatile because of the same reason. But it's not something which is available on my portfolio. I like to go with my set pairs on my portfolio. So what we can see, that market has been moving upwards because an FCP M pattern has been completed here. There is an M pattern here. I'm not sure whether you can spot this, but there is an M pattern right there, and this actually got a little bit extended, as I said. So this is what we had. Now the market is moving upwards, and it is most probably going to reach this particular level here. Let's go to the daily time frame, and it is already struggling with that mid of the Bollinger Band, and it is creating this structure as well. So we have this FCP zone right here. So this is our FCP zone. Okay, and we can see that market has what? Market has come to 50%, which has previous structure as well. So it may come little overextended and can go to 61.8 there, but looking at these candlestick patterns here, I can expect market to actually go bearish on USD JPY for at least one more day. So if we get a good short opportunity somewhere around here, then we can go for a short opportunity. If you are a day trader or swing trader, small time frame trader, then that actually makes sense. Another reason is actually because we have this W pattern, which is FCP pattern, and you see that 200 moving average is right there. So in fact our zone is a little bit bigger now. So this is how it is. If the market actually gives me a good short position in here, I will go for looking for a short, and my profit targets are going to be somewhere around these levels. So USD JPY is looking bearish as of now, but remember there can be a day or 2 or 3 days, like going upwards before it starts to fall down. So always look for a confirmation. In our strategy we use 4 or 5 confirmation techniques. So if one of those, or at least 2 of them, actually give us confirmation, we can go for a short. One of them is the water here as well. So let's go and check it on USD JPY. Okay, and let's go to the weekly. Okay, so the weekly has been going upwards, and there is no indication as of now on weekly. Now on daily, the market has been moving upwards, so it wants to go up, and that is consistent with DXY. But remember, it may actually fall down before it starts to go up, and that will create a W pattern. So remember, that's the thing. So you may want to decide, if you want to go upwards into this direction, take a long, but your stop loss has to be somewhere around here, the blue dot here, 104428. Otherwise you can get better entry if the market goes down, and if you get a confirmation there, then you can look for an upward move. So that's what you can do with USD JPY. So this is our forex analysis for the week. This was a very in-depth video. Hope you enjoyed this, hope you found this useful. We were able to cover DXY, AUD USD, EURUSD, GBP USD, USD CAD, and USD JPY. Hope you have a very good time in the market next week, and make sure that you like and subscribe to our channel and share this video with other traders and trading communities. And I'll see you in the market, and I'll see you in my Telegram group and on TradingView. Have a good time. If you're interested in learning how to analyze the markets the way I do using Fibonacci Confluence, then head over to Vikinsa.com, and under training section you'll be able to see core strategy training program On this page, you will be able to see the testimonials of previous students and also look at the brochure. The brochure has a lot more information, including the course structure and the Fibonacci Confluence training program curriculum. This is a very extensive program in which we cover basic core Fibonacci concepts along with the advanced concepts to analyze the markets with high probability. If you're interested in joining this program, come to Vikinsa.com and under training section, you'll be able to see and submit this form.